Good morning. I am Dr. Pratima Pawar, Assistant Professor, Department of Zoology, Dada Patil Mahavidyalaya, Karjat. And today we are going to see a topic from Animal Ecology, course code Z0112 for the semester first. The chapter which we are going to deal today is population. So let's see the characters of population, the age distribution and the age pyramid. The learning outcomes. Students will be able to understand what is age distribution, how is the age distribution done on the basis of reproductive and the post-reproductive ages, the age pyramid, the type of age pyramids and the uses of age pyramid. So let's see why to study the age distribution. Population dynamics are influenced by the age structure, which is characteristics for population growing at different rates. Age structure varies according to the age distribution of individual within a population. So we can see that the age structure is different for different people which are in a population. The population dynamics. Variation among the populations due to birth rates, death rates by immigration and immigration, and concerning topics such as aging population or population decline. It is very helpful for the purpose of population assessment. Age distribution. The age distribution is also called as the age composition. In population studies, the proportionate number of persons in successive age category in a given population is called as the age distribution. The age distribution also differs due to ecological factors. It is the number or the percentage of individuals in a population in different age groups. So here we can see a small baby, a young adult and a male and a female, whereas an old female and a male. The population differing in the relative number of young and old will exhibit markedly different birth rate, death rate and different prospects. So here in the diagram we can see that the population is growing. This is because of the growing birth rate, whereas the population declines due to the death rate. But it is always kept stable because of different ecological factors. Here we can see in a population, 3 ecological ages or age groups have been recognized. The first being pre-reproductive, the second is the reproductive and the third is the post-reproductive. So here we can see that the young ones will be considered into the pre-reproductive age, whereas the male and female are the reproductive, whereas the old tiger over here can be considered as the post-reproductive age. So in the age structure also, here we can see a diagrammatic representation of the pre-reproductive, reproductive and the post-reproductive age, which again is bifurcated into male and female. The age pyramid. The age pyramid or age distribution in a population may be represented in the form of age pyramid, in which the number of individuals in different age groups are shown by the relative width of the successive horizontal bars. So over here we can see that the age pyramid is represented by successive horizontal bars, and here the blue lines are indicator of the male population, whereas the pink lines over here is the indicator of the female population. A population pyramid is a way to visualize two variables, the age and the sex of the population. They are used by demographers who study population. The population pyramid is a graph that shows the distribution of ages across a population divided down the center between male and female members of the population. So we have seen how the pyramid is distributed between the male and the females along a line. The graphics starts from youngest at the bottom to the oldest at the top. It is called a population pyramid because when a population is growing, there are more babies born. Then there are people dying. So here we can see the young ones are more as compared to the old ones who are dying. The graphics forms the shape of a triangle. Hence this is called as a pyramid. A population pyramid can be used to compare differences between male and female population of an area. So it can also be used for a particular area to mark the differences between the male and female population. They also show the number of dependents, that is children and sometimes elderly person, and general structure of the population at a given moment. So here we can see how actually the population pyramid helps. The population pyramid helps show how the population are composed and how they are changing. So over here we can see the male and the female population, whereas this is the generation Z, Y and X, and these are the babies which are born, which are called as the baby boomers, whereas here we can see a population pyramid showing various age groups, that is baby boomers, generation X, generation Y and generation Z. Typically there are three trends in population pyramid. So we can see there are different types of population pyramid: expansive, constructive and stationary. These illustrate the trajectory of a regional population which may be growing, shrinking or staying the same. So here we have seen how actually the pyramid works. Here we can see the expanding population. So in the expanding population, a rapidly growing or expanding population, the birth rate is high and population growth may be exponential in case of some bacteria, yeast and dragonfly. So here we can see a dragonfly whose population is expanding type of population. So here we can see these red bars are indicators of newborn, whereas this is the pre-reproductive age, this is the reproductive age and this is the post-reproductive age. Under such condition, each successive generation will be more numerous than the preceding one and is evident from the age pyramid of expanding population. So over here we can see that the successive generation, okay, the next generation, so this generation is smaller as compared to the coming generation. It is smaller as compared to the coming generations, whereas this will be smaller to the coming generation. That indicates that this is a expanding population which is growing. A stable population. In a stable population, the post-reproductive age groups are more or less equal in size and pre-reproductive stages remains the smallest. So over here we can see this is the pre-reproductive stage, this is the reproductive stage and this is the post-reproductive stage. Here we can see that almost a constant age structure implies the proportion of the population in each age group. Each age group does not change over time. The total size of the population may change, growing or shrinking at a constant rate, but the number at every age changes exactly at the same rate, so that when it is expressed as a fraction of the total, this proportion does not change over time. So here we can see that a stable age pyramids are those that show a somewhat equal proportion of the population in each age group. So we can see that almost all the age groups are equal in proportion. That is pre-reproductive, reproductive and post-reproductive. Diminishing population. In an urn-shaped age pyramid, the number of reproductive individuals is higher than the number of pre-reproductive individuals. Here we can see the pre-reproductive are less as considered to the reproductive and the post-reproductive. It represents declining or diminishing population with a negative growth rate. So here we can see that the growth is in negative. Declining age pyramid depicts population where there is a low percentage of young people. Constructive population pyramids show declining birth rate since each succeeding age group is getting smaller and smaller. So here we can see that the pre-reproductive age is less as compared to the reproductive and the post-reproductive age. Thus, we can say that there are three age groups in a given population: expanding population, a stable population and a declining population. Predicting the trends of a population growth, they are as follows. A high percentage of young individuals is a characteristic of a rapidly expanding population. So we can see that the high growth rate or birth rate is an indicator of the expanding population, whereas a low percentage of young individuals is a characteristic of decline in population. Over here we can see that the birth rate is low, hence this is a type of declining population. A stable population has a constant proportion of individuals at all the three age groups. So here we can see a stable population which has a constant proportion of individuals of the three age groups. So in the graph we can see South Africa in 2018, where the population in millions is given according to the age group, starting with 0 to 4, then 5 to 9 and going to 100 and plus. So we can see that this is an example of a expanding population, whereas in India, this is the graph of the population of India in 2020. We can see almost all the stages are equal, hence this is a population graph of a constant population, whereas in case of Japan we can see that the pre-reproductive stages are less as compared to the reproductive and the post-reproductive stages. Hence, it is a graph of a declining population. And thanks a lot.